Hi, love. A mother skin bleached her child, and that child was barely 2 years old. Yeah, you heard that right. But anyway. Before we even get into this, let's just watch it together on BBC News, because this is actually insane.
Nigeria now, though, where more than 3/4 of people use skin lightening creams. They're commonly known as bleaching creams. It's the country with the highest use in Africa, according to the WHO. In 2023, Nigeria's Food and Drugs regulator declared a state of emergency over the products. The BBC's Medina Mashanu has been to Kano State. Now, that's one of several major hubs for skin bleaching in Nigeria, and has this report for us.
My youngest child was barely 2 years old when I started bleaching him, and the scars have started showing on his skin.
This Nigerian mother used skin lightening creams on all 6 of her children, which she says burnt their skin. We are concealing her identity for their privacy.
When my daughter was mistaken for a drug addict because of the bleaching, it made me extremely sad.
She says she did it because of pressure from her own mother.
When I visit my mother, she shows more love to her other light-skinned grandchildren. But when I got the bleaching cream and started using it on them, they became lighter, and then she started bringing them closer to her.
Her story is part of a growing trend in Africa, says medical aesthetician and campaigner Zainab Bashiriau.
So a lot of people link light skin to beauty or wealth. Women tend to shield, as they call it, shield their children from that discrimination by bleaching them from childbirth. Some of these women even go to the extent of taking injections while they are pregnant, just so they can give birth to lighter skinned children.
Long-term use of skin lightening products can have serious consequences.
They can have severe rashes all over their bodies. We've also had cases of, first-degree burn. It can also affect their kidney, which we call the nephrotic syndrome.
Common bleaching ingredients include steroids, mercury, hydroquinone, and kojic acid. Many of these are banned or tightly regulated by Nigeria's Food and Drug Regulator, NAFDAC, especially in children's products. NAFDAC says Kano and Lagos states are major hotspots for bleaching.
Despite tight regulations, these bleaching creams are so easily accessible. For example, in this supermarket in Kano State, when I picked up one of the creams that says baby bleaching cream, I noticed that many of the ingredients here are illegal substances.
I met one mother in the market buying bleaching creams for her kids, despite her own hands being discolored by them.
Parents used to come and buy their babies' creams that will make them look radiant, shiny, and glow.
Many shopkeepers here, who were not identified for their safety, mixed their own creams from raw ingredients. It wasn't clear how precisely they were measuring the bleaching chemicals.
We decide the percentage depending on what the customers want. Some want full tablespoon, then sometimes we use baby teaspoon.
Some sellers I spoke to admitted they were not aware of all the NAFDAC rules.
Kojic acid, level.
NAFDAC has regulated the use of kojic acid. You can now only use a certain percentage. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. But now that you've told me about it, now I know.
I asked NAFDAC what it's doing to educate sellers.
We have done our own sensitization. Many of them, all those people from the market, this one, they came. And they asked questions. I was there. And I also made the presentation to them on the dangers of all these things.
Why isn't NAFDAC doing enough, since sensitization is clearly not working?
Our officers are already gathering intelligence. Once we are ready to strike, we will strike.
With so many producers and such high demand, the challenges are vast.
What happened to me is why I want to advise other people not to follow this route. They will regret it. You need to accept how God created you.
For this message to be heard, it needs to break through deeply entrenched views on skin color. Until it does, the health of many children may yet be put at risk. Medina Meshanu, BBC News, Kano State, Nigeria.
Wow, that's the thing. This is not even just like a Nigeria problem, even though it said that it's the highest percentage of people that use skin bleaching. This is a whole Africa, this is a whole black people problem actually, because when I was listening to this, it just reminded me of this show called Girlfriends. And I remember there was a scene where Tony, who's a dark-skinned character, dark-skinned person, wanted to marry a white man just so that her child won't be as dark as her, so that she's protecting her child from the bullying and everything that she went through being a dark-skinned person.
Editing Tanya here, Tony actually didn't want to date black guys who are as dark as her because she didn't want her kids to come out even darker. So that was the main plot.
And I see that reasoning being the same as this mother, where there are many mothers within that country where it's like they want to protect their kids. Like the intention behind it is like, I have faced so many this and that being a dark-skinned woman, so I'm trying to make my kids' life better by making them light-skinned, and that's usually the logic behind it. But obviously there's something deeper behind this whole thing. Like as I was reading some of the comments, like some people are very insensitive, like, oh yeah, it's the mother, this and this, is she crazy? Yes, but there's such a huge and bigger issue behind this. It's not just like a one person, you know, they're self-hating, all that kind of stuff. Do we really have to go back within history to figure out why we're like this? Because skin color and just colorism and everything within that is such a thing that's ingrained within us that we still have to talk about and actually admit that it exists. Because for a lot of people, colorism, texturism, all those type of things that are within the black community aren't talked about as much because some people dismiss it because they don't experience it or they don't want to be a victim of it. So we just kind of like gloss over it and not really discuss it. So that's what I want to get into. Yeah, we're gonna make this deeper, okay? Say like a lot of it goes back to colonialism, where that was really the first times when we were taught that being lighter is better. Fast forward to like the early 90s, early 2000s, especially in Nigeria, where there was a lot of Nollywood movies which often featured a light-skinned woman who was highly admired or highly favored most other than their dark-skinned counterpart. And because of influences such as that, a lot of young people, a lot of the older generation started to see that as more desirable.
I need a product that I can really trust to restore my skin's natural fairness.
Nivea Natural Fairness Body Lotion with an innovative formula containing unique berry extracts to visibly lighten and care for your skin.
Hello, you must be here to pick up your sister. Mommy? Wow, you have the most beautiful glowing skin.
Now I have visibly fairer skin, making me feel younger.
This lady said that was it a mother or mother-in-law?
She says she did it because of pressure from her own mother.
Her mother, she's the older one, but she also still has that internalized colorism within her because of how she grew up and what she saw in the TV and what was the popular thing. Like I remember vividly like Nollywood or even music videos, especially back in the 2000s, it was always a light-skinned woman, a light-skinned black woman, someone's racially ambiguous. You never saw a dark-skinned woman. The only music video that I remember that featured a dark-skinned woman was like, was it Carolina? Yeah, this music video, like I remember finding her so beautiful and so majestic, but like I never seen that. It was always somebody lighter. Even the male characters or like movie stars that we were made to look up to or to have crush over and just drool over was like the Van Vickers, Michelle, I forgot the name, but like those were the main like guys, and also just a sprinkle of dark-skinned black men. But like colorism doesn't go as far when it comes to black men that it does affect black women. One thing that I've also noticed is in my life as well, as I will have a baby soon with a white man, yeah, my husband is white, the questioning around my baby's lightness, like the same thing that was happening to Meghan Markle. They were wondering like what color the child's gonna be, and luckily it's only been older white women that have been like asking that, like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a little mixed baby, light-skinned baby, I hope they have like green eyes, and you know, all that type of, you know, like if I wasn't like in my blackness and like secure with myself, like I would also be like really stressed about that. And I think a lot of women as well that are surrounded by people that are constantly like worrying and talking about how a baby should look and this and this and that, like it gets into you, and that makes you want to feel like you have to protect your kid from people's opinions and stuff like that, you know, and that leads to people, you know, taking tablets while they're pregnant to get their baby lighter, and it's so tragic, but this is the reality of what happens. So I think as a society, as black people, we also have to watch out for what we say and really call out that behavior. Like when you see people talking about that, be like, no, I'm okay with my child being dark skin, you know, like it's fine, you know, and really call it out, because the more we don't and just conform to the norm, which is scary because now it's the norm, like the worse that things are just gonna get, because the skin bleaching like industry is just getting bigger and bigger. Like it's getting kind of hidden in a way where it's not like out there, especially in the outside world, like skin bleaching, you know. It's kind of like skin brightening, you know. We have influencers like, yeah, you know, brighten, you know, this and this, but it's kind of like, if you read those ingredients, it's skin bleaching, you know what I'm saying? Like it really is. And sometimes people don't want to admit that, and oh, there's a lot of internalized stuff that we have to work through, which is why I think, in as much as history is taught, you know, racism, all that kind of stuff within history, the transatlantic slavery, all that kind of stuff, ooh, I feel like colorism, texturism, all those things need also to be talked about, especially within African schools. That's very, very important, because these kids are getting sick. These kids are, you know, there's probably some that have probably died by all these chemicals that are being put in them. So I think more education on that part, like the government really needs to step a foot into this, or maybe there are people that are benefiting. You know, in Africa, like the government's always going to benefit somehow. So maybe this, whatever industry has people high up top, okay, let me not get into the whole conspiracy theory of that, but like I feel like sometimes they really be involved in like how we think of ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And because they benefit from that, they don't really do anything to help their own people you know, be educated with these type of things. I don't know, that's just my, no, whatever. But like, for real, like I feel like schools really need to up their game, and that's why I wanted to be a teacher. But now, oh, those kids are crazy. They're like shooting up teachers and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be a teacher, so that's why I have this channel, so that I can, you know, teach in a way, you know. But like I feel like if kids get really taught about this whole thing, skin bleaching, what it does, you know, loving yourself, you know, skin pride, all that kind of stuff, I feel like it could really help. And yeah, just more education on this stuff, you know, because I remember when I was in Zimbabwe last December, like going to shops, I saw this Carolite, like I was like, y'all really selling this out here in public? Like, what? And like when I would go to like an aunt's house, it's like there, like it's so natural. It's kind of like it being next to Vaseline, like it's such a normal, natural thing, you know. It's crazy. And yeah, and I can't even come on here and be like, it doesn't look natural, because people don't care. They don't care that it looks natural or not. Like they just want to be light skinned. That's all that matters, because they be looking all types of colors, none of them humane colors, but like they don't care. And as I'm out here in the West, like you can definitely see a lot of colorism still exists, because sometimes when people see this, they're like, oh, Africa, oh, y'all saw colorism, because y'all using skin bleaching. But like people in the diaspora in general, they like, they have the colorism back in their heads. Like I saw Dochi getting popular. She's getting popular right now. She's what everyone's talking about. And what's significant about this is that she is a dark-skinned woman. We've never seen a dark-skinned woman being pushed this much and being celebrated and all that good stuff. And now, you know, some people are like, oh, why her? She's not even that pretty, because she doesn't look like what you expect her to look like. What the beauty standard is being for us black women, right? She's not that typical light skin, you know. I'm trying to think of other artists that are like light skin and just like get popular for no talent at all. But like, yeah, she has to work how many times? 10 times as hard, because she's a dark skinned woman. So this really goes all across the diaspora. Like we're all in this together, so we really have to check ourselves when we're seeing those comments on Twitter. Check yourself, like when you're about to type that, like, oh, but why is she getting all the praise? Why do you feel that way? Especially on a dark-skinned woman. Why do you feel some way about, you know, dark-skinned celebrities getting the hype? Why do you feel like it's not genuine? Why do you feel like people are lying when they like a certain artist who's dark-skinned? Why do you feel like men on reality shows who show interest in dark-skinned women are lying, or they just want to get clout? Like I saw when AD got engaged, people were like, no, it can't be true, like he's lying. Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that way? Because you already had a certain mindset when it comes to black women, dark-skinned black women, that when you see one actually, you know, getting the flowers she deserves, you know, being, you know, in a place where she is. Same thing with Jackie Aina. Some people have beef with her only because of of her skin color, because if she was another skin color, a lighter skin color, you wouldn't have a problem with half the things that you say she's problematic of. It all just goes in round and round, like it's absolutely crazy. But like, yeah, it's not just like an Africa problem. It is an Africa problem actually, but like also in general it's a black people problem that we really need to address, and really just look inwards and really have these conversations even more. That's why I wanted to make a quick video about this. This was like so not planned. I saw this just now and I was like, yeah, I have to talk about this because it's important. I hope that this video really helps someone who was thinking of starting to bleach their skin. Like, honey, you are beautiful, dark skin as you are. So I don't know why y'all trying to get light skin. Like, some of us try to get darker. I want my skin to be even toned. Dark skinned women always have beautiful even toned skin. That's where I want to get at, okay? But anyway, tell me what you guys think about this video. Be respectful, all that kind of stuff, and see you guys next time. Bye.